What's going on, everybody? We're back again for part 2 of this research of this young lady here. Alright, so we finished off for part 1 with the frequency separation texture and the frequency separation blending. If you haven't seen the first part, you can go to my page and check it out. It's about 30 minutes long or so. So right now we're going to start with part 2, which is the micro dodging and burning, the macro dodge and burning, and might throw in a little bit of rosy cheeks and lips on her face to kind of give her, kind of build it up a little bit. So let's get started. So right now, just the before and after where we left off at from the frequency separation part. So now what we're going to do is we're going to basically build up this area up here. Also, I noticed something the last time that I didn't do. Just this little area right here is kind of sharp a little bit. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm gonna just quickly just fix that. So all I do is just kind of go over in the dark area a little bit and in the light area, and just kind of copy, blend, and we're gonna soften it up just a little bit. Yeah, okay. All right, here we go. So dodging burning. So with this, again, if you don't have this, these actions, again, I'm going to show a video of how to actually add the actions in there and add the copy, blend, and merge and everything. So here we go. So with this dodge and burn for micro and macro, what it does, it creates a curves layer that will be for dodging and for burning. So if you look at it here, it's just if you click down on command on your Mac, and I'm sorry, not command, shift, I think it's shift, yeah, you hold down shift and click on the actual blank, the black layer, it'll reveal what the actual layer look like. So pretty much this layer basically is basically darkened, so it's going to darken the dark areas, burn the dark areas, and the dodge is going to lighten the light areas. So if you just look at it, this is basically just how it looks when it's turned off. So it's basically you're revealing what it will look like if you. So pretty much with this layer, you can go as far as what is being shown. After that, you can't go any further than what it is. So I typically use this when I do micro dodge and burn, and I started doing it for global as well. I like how it looks when I use it for global. So, and then this is the lighten area. So just kind of just bring the curve layer up. So what we're gonna do is typically what I do, I create a help layer here, which is a black and white layer, and I command G to group it, and we just call this help. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this down till about, because what we want to do is we want to reveal the patched areas where we can see the kind of blotchiness of the skin. So we're going to bring it down relatively far, and depending on your photo and depending on your skin tone of your model or your subject will determine on how far you go down with the reds and how far you go up with the yellows. But these are only two solid sliders that I mess with. So I'm going to probably bring this down till about here or so, because I just want to reveal those areas. Okay, so this is my help layer. All right, so what we do is we take our brush, opacity turn on for the for the pressure point, for the pressure flow, and we bring the, depending on your subject, will determine your flow. But for her darker skin, I'm gonna put it at about 4. I mean lighter skin, I'm gonna put it about 4. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just dodge and burn, micro dodge and burn those little areas, and this is where that time takes, because if depending on me, with her image is it's pretty good skin, so it won't take me as long. But if you have a model or a subject that has blotchy skin, you might take a little bit longer. So you might have, if you have that, you probably will have to take a break or so. For her, it shouldn't be that long. So we're gonna do brush, black and white. So for this, we only are gonna work on the white brush, and the reason being is because we have these black layers here that are inverted, so we don't have to switch back and forth between black and white. Brush, just switch between burn and dodge on the layer itself. Alright, so I usually start with the lighter areas where I just dodge the dark areas. So we're going to start with that. So I zoom all the way in, and I use a pretty small brush, and all I do is just paint in the areas that are kind of just, I don't do the whole entire thing, because you still want to keep that textured area, but I just go over little areas that I see that need it. Actually, I messed up though. I'm gonna burn that back down. So okay, so we're just gonna go around and we're just gonna fix these areas, and this is where patience comes into play. Like I stated in my first video, part 1 is I'm using a Wacom tablet, Intuos Pro small, so it'll be best if you just save a little money and purchase one of those things. It'll save your retouching a lot of time and a lot of frustration, because with a mouse I don't think you can really get as detailed in the skin as well as you can with this tablet and this pen. In the beginning it's kind of weird using it, but once you get the hang of it, you'll love it. I promise you. I don't really know how much it is now. I know they came out with a different version, a different pen, so they might have dropped the prices maybe. But so we're just going around and we're just fixing a little bit of areas that might stand out to us. Again, your image will vary on the blotchiness of the skin, but she's pretty. I think we did a pretty good job in the first video of the blending separation, the blending frequency separation of evening the skin out. So we did a pretty good job with that. So I think this is the reason why this is actually turned out to be pretty good. Just darken our mole a little bit. Alright, so just going around, just looking. So basically I'm just switching back and forth between the black and white layer versus the black and white brush. If you were using the macro dodge and burn on like a 50% gray layer or a blank layer that you were dodging and burning, you would then use the black and white brushes. But for here, we're just using just the white brush. So we're just going around, and anything that looks kind of, all we're really doing is basically just blending in. How does it look? So let's get over here. We just want to blend in. Don't mind me if I get a little, if I am quiet a little bit, concentrating on these areas, so I might not talk for a little bit, so don't worry. All right, let's go on this on our nose. Switch to dodge. And you want to just soften these areas right here. Right. Lighting your images is, again, is really important when it comes to editing photos. And I stated before, I don't consider myself a retoucher, but I wanted to learn how to actually edit photos. I know a lot of photographers that retouch their own photos. They use filters to create different things or to soften the skin up, and you know, that's cool and everything, but if you really want to learn why it's doing what it's doing, I recommend just spending the time and editing your own photos. You'll learn a lot about what those filters are doing, and those are just kind of quick fix, you know, batch type things, and I usually don't like it because it still doesn't really give you that good quality look that a lot of the higher end retouchers use. Okay, so what we're going to do here is now we're going to kind of soften up the lines in her eyes. So we're gonna, and I learned this by watching YouTube. I think I had a hard time figuring out how to do it, and I realized how to do it. But what you do is if you press the R key, that brings up the rotation angle, and you can actually rotate the image. And now we can actually get a really good stroke. So we press the B button, and it brings out brush back. It took me a long time to figure out how to do that rotation. I used to see it all the time on time-lapse videos, and it's so quick that you really never learn how to do it. So I just Googled how to rotate image in Photoshop, and I was a little pissed that it was only just one button. I thought it was like some secret code you had to do to rotate it. So all we're doing is we're just going to soften up the lines. We're not removing the lines, because naturally people just don't have flat faces. So we keep the lines there to show that she's still human and not a mannequin. But all we're really doing is just softening up the lines under her eyes, and it looks a little more flattering. I used to use, when I first started retouching about 3 years ago, I used to use Aperture to edit my photos, and they had the skin smoothing, and I used to smooth out the whole entire thing where it was just like a mannequin, and I thought I was doing something. I thought I was doing pretty good until my mentor told me how bad that was. So I quickly learned. I think I don't think I ever used Photoshop at that time. So, and I was so nervous because I'm like, I don't know how to use Photoshop. How would I be able to edit photos in there? And at the time I was really trying to get it done. All I wanted to do was see the end result. I didn't care about time. I just wanted to see how the photo would look at the end. So yeah, so we're just softening up the lines. and then to get it back to 0-degree rotation, you just come up to, you hit R and you hit reset view, or you can type in 0-degree. It's your preference. All right, and hit the B button again to go back to the brush, and we're going to go down to our chin, and we're going to fix these little areas. So we're going to go to dodge and just dodge these areas out. So we're almost done. We're gonna hit our neck a little. We're gonna hit our neck up a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next part of this video. All right. Get up on our chin. See how it looks. Go to burn. Burn these areas. So, okay, so we're gonna go right here. We're gonna burn right here, this neck area. I think that's pretty much it. She's pretty good. Okay. All right. So turn off your help layer. Actually, you know what? Let's burn up here a little bit where our eyebrow is. Kind of even it out. Okay, so here's before and after. Of the micro dodge and burn. Like I said, we'll fix everything else out when it comes to the actual global. But I mean, this is just a little bit tedious work, but it's not perfect, but it's just a baseline of where we're going with it. We'll fix everything else out in the global. So, you know what? Let's burn. Let's dodge this area right here. Okay. All right. So with that, so now what I do is I have two options. I can either, like I said before, I can create another dodge and burn micro layer and basically globally do that, or I can create a macro dodge and burn. So with the macro dodge and burn, I'll show you this real quick because I think I'm gonna use the micro. With the macro dodge and burn, it creates a 50% gray layer, and basically you just use your white and black brush to globally dodge and burn the face in the areas you would like. So for this, I'm going to delete this layer, and I'm going to basically just create another micro dodge and burn. Actually, move this up here. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. Same thing. Oh. Go back. I don't know what the hell happened. Alright. Let's call this macro dodge and burn. Let's rename it. I think it duplicated it. macro dodge and burn. Let's just say small area. Maybe if I rename it, and then let's do another one. Still doing the same thing. So this is, so we don't need this, and we don't need this. Oops. I don't know what it's doing. Alright, let's try this out. Let's do this. Make it easy for us. So we're gonna create, I don't know what it's doing, but we'll create a new stamp tool. So a new stamp layer is Command Option Shift and E creates a new stamp layer, but I have it configured on my tablet. So I just press the button and it's going to create a new stamp layer, and then I'm going to do this button here. It's still doing the same thing. Alright, bear with me guys, figure out what's going on. So because I don't know which one, I don't know what layer is creating it on. I don't want to really delete the wrong one, so I'm going to do this. Let's go to dodge, do that. Then let's do this. So we'll know exactly what we're getting. Ah, that's what it was. Okay. So I just renamed it. Okay. Sorry for that. Again, I'm not a retoucher. I learn as I go. Alright, here we go. So dodge and burn. So this is going to be global. So we're going to change from micro. We're going to go to macro. Okay. So again, so what I do, I go back to my help layer and I double click and I go to auto. And by doing auto, it's basically bringing back to where the black and white was. And I kind of use this as a guide from the start point. So this time I burn. Same deal. White brush. Opacity pressure is on, flow at 4, so we can build up to it, and I just basically just build up to it. So we dodge and burn the globally. And we just go around, and usually what I do, I go back and forth to see exactly where I was, or how it actually looks. So down this area, she has cheekbone here. Something like that. Yeah, it's good. So just globally just dodge and burn. On a wider scale. Darkening her eyelashes, her eyebrows. And what this does, it basically builds back up her face from when we kind of flatten it a little bit from everything else. So we just basically just building back up. And we just darken the dark areas, and then what we'll do, we'll go back to the white, and basically we'll just dodge the other areas. Like out. So I just actually, to me, is the fun part. I like dodging and burning. So we get on the neck area, and if you darken under the neck, it kind of separates her neck area, so it kind of gives her a really good jawline. Okay. Alright, so for after. So you can already see that we're building up, and that's just for dodging, for burning. So right now this is what we have. So it was before dodge and burn. This is after dodge and burn. Okay. So we go back. We go to dodge, and we just highlight that area. Just dodge the highlight area. On our nose. Right here in the cheek area. Starting to see it come together now. Yes, coming together. So I notice, let me see something. Yeah, we'll fix this area right here a little bit. Yeah, okay. Go back, and now we just start this area right here. For eyebrow. Just build her face up. Build it back from what it was. Get on her chin, get on the neck area, collarbone, down here, get that arm over there. Let's go back to burn. Let's burn this area. Alright, so we're looking really good. Get her hair a little bit. Okay, so dodge and burn before and after. Before and after. So what we're gonna do, I think I did a little bit too much on her forehead, so we're gonna lighten that a little bit. So we're gonna go here and just kind of lighten this area up a little bit. Did a little bit too much. Okay, that's better. Yep, that's better. Okay. Let's darken her right here a little bit in her eyes. Yep. Okay. So the next thing that I do is dodge and burn her hair also to kind of make it pop a little bit. So I don't have to use, I mean, I can use the macro dodge and burn, but I think I typically use the 50% gray layer for this one. So we'll create that. So we'll do macro 50% gray and black and white layer for the help. And we can go about 9-10%, I mean 7%. And all you do is basically just lighten the same as the face, but lighten the light areas, the white areas. So we'll whiten these areas here, and this will kind of make her hair kind of pop. So we'll go here. Hair is one of those tricky things. I don't know how the hair retouchers do it. They spend hours and hours and hours trying to make sure that the hair is like really straight, and they remove all the flower hairs. I want to learn how to do that. Again, this I think is all this time and patience, but I haven't really gotten to that point yet. But I'm sure this is not hard. All right, we switch to black now, and we just kind of just burn the dark areas of her hair. Just go around and just kind of just color in the black areas. And this is going to really make her hair kind of pop out. Usually if I edit a photo and it's in black and white and I look at it and I'm like, man, you know, this is an amazing photo in black and white, I usually keep it in black and white. And this looks pretty good in black and white, but I may keep the color because I'm using this for her portfolio because she's trying to get into modeling. So all right, so let's see where we are with this. So tone tape layer, and this is the before and it's the after. So as you can see, it kind of made her hair kind of pop a little bit more from what it was. So group this together. Hair, dodge and burn. Okay. So let's take a globally look at it. And this is before when we started from part 1, and this is where we are now in part 2. So we came a long way. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of detail back. So we want to go back to here, go to burn. I'm going to burn this area back a little bit, kind of give her a neck. It's going to be so flat. Yeah. All right. Let's dodge this area right here a little bit. It's a little too dark. Okay. Let's darken this area a little bit. It's not really, it's too much. Let's try to darken our eyebrows a little bit too. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is add a little bit of rosy cheek. Actually, yeah. So we come to rosy cheek, and what it does, it creates a color balance layer, and in the midtones, +17, -13, and 0, and pressure luminosity. Let's see how it looks. So this is how it looks, and all it really does is basically creates rosy cheeks. So on a white layer, we'll do about 10% flow, 12%, 10, and we'll just kind of just and do right here. Bring it down just a little bit. Do it lips a little bit. I want to fix this part. So let's go to here, burn 6%, and burn this area right here. Okay. All right, so for the final part, part 3, we'll do the sharpening, and it should be good.